Yeah, so my name is Johannes Schürmann, indeed from GoodFuels. My presentation is going to be a little bit more practical than the presentations we had before. So I'm actually going to show you how quickly we can defossilize the Dutch shipping sector already today. We as GoodFuels, I guess not everybody knows us, but we are already doing this today. And I'm going to show you what we do, who we collaborate with, who our partners are, which clients are interested in those fuels, and we show you that the targets set for the upcoming years are basically way too low because we can already do something. A little bit of background where we started. So the company was founded in 2015 in the Netherlands. Over the years we have supplied multiple of different fuels. This year we actually opened an office in Singapore, so we are also expanding globally. And of course many more to come. So what do we do at GoodFuels? Our aim is basically to accelerate energy transition by offering truly impactful, sustainable solutions. Currently we are only focused at biofuels, HVO, flame-based biofuels, bioresiduals, but we as GoodFuels, we are open for everything: methanol, ammonia, hydrogen, renewable electricity, LNG, bio-LNG, not fossil LNG, bio-LNG, but we are open for everything. But we aim for drop-in solutions, solutions that work today. Next to GoodFuels, the fuel developer and supplier, we also have Good Shipping. Good Shipping is basically the party that sells the Scope 3 rights of the biofuels that are not always claimed by the shipping company, sells them to the cargo owners. I'm not going too deep into Good Shipping today. So how to fulfill the mission of GoodFuels? Basically, what we see is that our clients are facing a challenge. They're facing that they want to defossilize, decarbonize, how they call it. Defossilize is maybe a nicer term. And they are looking for solutions. So what do we do at GoodFuels? Basically, we offer them those solutions. So we look at, okay, what kind of fuels are out there. We test them with the engine makers. I will go into that a little bit later in this presentation. We make sure the fuels work. We make sure they are sustainable, and we supply them to our clients. So what does that mean for our clients? Basically, that they have direct impact in the industry if they buy our fuels. Of course, they could buy offsets. They could go via the emission trading system. They could just buy the reductions they need, or they can go for the solution we offer them. We as GoodFuels, we are seen as a sustainable frontrunner, but also our companies, our clients are. Basically, they are the first ones. While there is no target for them, they are the first ones testing, using those fuels. And some of our clients, they actually make a profit out of them because they have the rights, the CO2 reduction rights, which they can sell to their clients again. So there is a business model already in it, while there's not even a target out there for them. Oh, short, one slide back. Short slide on the type of products we offer today. So back in 2015, we started with hydrotreated vegetable oil, which you can see at the bottom. Today, we mainly supply them to inland barges, port vessels, basically the vessels that have regular diesel engines, that cannot heat fuels, which need a solution which is very similar to the regular diesel out there. We also have two other types of fuel, bioresidual fuels, basically a collection of different residues from different industries, which we blend together and basically make a fossil fuel oil, bio component that is comparable to the fossil fuel oil currently out there. We also have MDF1, which is a flame-based fuel. Not exactly the same as the flame used in road transport, but quite close to it. How do we make sure that our fuels are sustainable? Of course, we look at regulations. Regulations give us a good guidance, but regulations don't say everything. Like there are feedstocks in the regulations showing or basically saying that they are sustainable. But if they come from regions that are working with child labor, or regions that, where there's a lot of deforestation, for example, you need to take that into consideration. And that's something we discuss couple times a year with our sustainability board. Martin Junginger is also in there. So this is important, and we do believe that whatever we do, it should be sustainable. So what are the challenges then? Of course, the biggest challenges is that biofuels are still more expensive than fossil fuels. How we try to overcome that is that we try to make a business case out of the CO2 reductions of the biofuels. We do that together with Good Shipping, with our clients, and we try to find a solution, even without the targets, to make the fuels economically viable. There are a lot of technical challenges. So there's, for example, a lack of fuel standards. There is, for marine, currently no biofuel standard, meaning if we supply a biofuel to shipping, we don't comply with regulations, and our customers need to ask for exemptions with their flag states. They need to go to their insurance companies to ask for exemptions. They need to sail on the biofuel on their own risk, which is a big hurdle. At aviation, you have you have a couple of pathways that are certified right now, like the HEVA, maybe alcohol to jet also already. I'm not sure. But at shipping, there is no fuel standard, which is insane, because they are just using diesel engines and they could use the same fuel standards as the road sector is already doing, and even broader fuel standards than those. And then last thing is regulatory challenges. Of course, there are no targets. The Netherlands is basically the only country globally that is providing an incentive system for marine biofuels. The question is whether that incentive system will stay in place for the next couple of years. If you see the volumes today, I'm afraid it will be gone soon. And then the last point is that sustainability is closely linked to regulations and might differ dependent on geographical location. If you look at Europe, we are only focused at waste-based feedstocks. In the US, there's a different approach. Should we see sustainability as a global, like, is just the definition of sustainability, is that globally the same, or is it different? And we struggle with that ourselves. Our customers, who are global customers, struggle with that as well. Like, why in Europe do we need to use waste-based feedstocks? Well, in the US, they produce dedicated feedstocks for biomass, and we are not allowed to use them, according to GoodFuels. There are a lot of questions there, and we don't know all the answers, but we try to solve them and have discussions with our customers about those points. So let's make waves. Just a couple of examples of the type of customers that we work with. We work with container vessels, with tanker companies. We work with car carriers, cruise ships, bulk carriers, dredging and nearshore vessels. Like, all kinds of customers are interested in biofuels, and everybody has a different incentive. Like the dredgers, they can win tenders when they use biofuels. Container liners, they can sell the green value to their cargo owners. So every sector has a different incentive, but we always try to look for the right solution for basically every segment in the shipping sector. As GoodFuels, we are typically seen as one of the most experienced player in the market, and we like to make a lot of noise. As most of you know, we are not the biggest player in the market, but we like to make noise. And we make those noise because we want to be seen. And we want to be seen because we want to educate other parties in the market. For example, if you look at the fuel laboratories, there are a lot of fuel laboratories that always need to test the bunker fuels that goes into shipping, but they have no clue what they are testing if they are testing biofuels. Because there is no standard, they don't know what to test. We work, of course, with 1, 2, 3 different labs, but there are tens of different labs out there, and they all need to know, because our customers are working with those labs, they all need to know what to test. So we try to educate all those fuel testing facilities and those labs, like, okay, if you have a biofuel, these and these and these parameters are important, and why are they important? How do you test them? Do you need another method than you use today? What we always also do is that because the fuels, the biofuels that can be supplied to shipping don't comply with a standard, we always want to test the fuels in an engine. And we do that with a partner where we test those fuels. So we actually produce a batch of that. We go to an engine test facility, because there's not something like the aviation where they test it for you, where they, I don't know how it's called, but we do that ourselves. And then we have a report that we can show to our customer, basically it works. And of course we do a lot of live testing on board, but still this is super important, otherwise our customers won't use the fuel. We also work with the engine makers. What you see with the engine makers is that a couple of years ago they made a bet on LNG. Today they are a little bit coming back from that bet. They are now looking more at methanol, later ammonia, but they are hesitant to make another bet. Am I over time already? Okay. Okay, 2 more slides. I'll be quick. But basically, we work with them together. They are very interested. They allow the use of biofuels already, while fuel standards don't. So they develop basically their own fuel standards, which is good. And that ISO is staying behind. That's a pity, but never mind. This is not important enough to discuss them right now. And then the last slide is that in shipping, you also work with classification societies, basically the societies that make sure that vessels comply with regulations. And what they also do is advising their customers, okay, there are biofuels out there, these kind of biofuels, this is how they work. And this is super important because what you see in shipping is that they really rely on advice from such parties as the classification societies. If they are in, they dare to, the shipping companies dare to use biofuels as well, which is super important. I think that's it.